Alrighty, traders, let's have a look at the markets today. Bit of a market update for everyone. Looking at the good old FinViz. This is finviz.com, and you can see this is the map of the I think the S&P 500. What is that? Yeah, S&P 500. Yeah. So you can see here that a lot of the tech stocks were the ones that got hit the hardest today. We definitely have Walmart down almost 8%. Yeah, so we're definitely getting the consumer defense. We got the obviously Tesla down. Tesla was definitely going to be a false breakout. I'm going to share that with you. With that, also we can see we have Amazon down as well too. Got Google and Microsoft. So let's actually look at. I want to show you something when it comes to Tesla, and why there was a lot of bullishness in Tesla. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Lately, if we bring up Tesla here, TSLA, and we show this here, so there was actually a bit of a spike here in Tesla, and it did look like it was going to be a continue, or it was going to be a breakout and then a follow through. And this is something that I was talking about a while ago as well too, is that right now it actually did break out, but firstly, where is the trend of this market here? Because this is something that happens a lot of the times. As you can see here, right, really the trend is flat, right? So we can see here that we have this sort of flat sort of highs through here. We have higher lows coming through here, but we've got flat highs, and then we get the breakout. So even though it was a bit of a triangle breakout through here, the big thing that we need to keep an eye for, whether this was going to be a false breakout or not, is by looking at the overall trend. And the overall trend comes from the weekly chart. So if we bring up the weekly chart, where was the trend on this weekly chart at the time? And this is a really big important key, guys. If you can just understand what I'm trying to say here, you'll be so far ahead of most people out there. This is the reason why false breakouts happen. Because look at this here. So this is the weekly chart here, and if we look at this weekly chart, what do we have? We have this movement down, then we have sideways, and then we have a movement up. This here was when the breakout happened on the daily charts. But what is the weekly chart doing? Right? Remember, it's all that trend analysis, okay? So if the market goes down and then we get a pullback, doesn't mean it's a change in trend. It just could be a pullback and then a movement down and so on and so forth. So if we have a look at the trend on Tesla right now, what do we have here? We have a movement down, then we have a movement back up. We have a movement down, and now we've got a movement back up. So this actually could be, even if it had a little bit of an upside, this could be like a 50% retracement before it starts to head back down. And especially what we're getting through here right now, we're getting this very sort of weak pullback. We're not even getting this sort of V-shaped pullback through here. As you can see, this is a very strong pullback. And then it came down. Look how weak see how weak that pullback is, or that sideways phase is. That's actually telling you something when it comes to the markets through there. So by looking at Tesla, we can see Tesla actually had a break up, and now it's actually completely failing. The thing that I'm looking at for Tesla is I'm watching this level right here, this sort of 760 level, when it comes to that level there. Because if we get back below here, especially if we gap like that, that's going to be an island reversal then. And then we're probably going to head back down towards here somewhere. An island reversal is when the market's been moving in a direction, it gaps up, so it creates like a bit of a gap through here. It creates like a bit of an island, right? Because it's separated, and then it gaps back down, and it's a reversal, because then it starts to create that sort of motion in the markets through there. If we go have a look at the S&P 500, we can see the S&P 500 had a bit of a pullback. There's actually two lines that I'm watching for on the S&P 500 to see, because if we do hold here, this actually could be a bit of a strong bounce through here. Now, obviously, in the next few days is going to be really, the rest of this week is going to be really important. What the Fed does, and we find out whether we're going to be in a recession or with the GDP report. And so the next couple of days is going to be really big. So the big key I'm watching for is this whole trend line through here. If indeed the S&P does sort of hold here, even if we come down a little bit more to this trend line through here, and then we hold, but then we start to pick back up through there. That's going to be really, really, really positive for the market. Really positive for the market. And if we start to break past here, we get something like that. Now we're going to be getting this sort of higher high, higher low, break and pass. That's going to be really bullish for the markets, guys, if we do start. Now, I know what I just said there doesn't make any sense, right? Because it's just like, hang on a minute. If the Fed raises rates, and if we are going to go, and if we do find out whether we're in a recession or not, how could that be bullish for the markets? That's where, like, guys, don't try to think a fundamental is going to be a thing that comes out in the market is going to be something for the markets, right? Don't think that. Because like, there's so many times, right? So many times, and this is where what you want to do is you want to focus on just. And I know this is one of the racking brain things that comes when comes with trading, right? Because trading is all about really what the market is telling you, not what the headlines or what you think something may happen, or what you think something is going to happen to the market, right? Just because we are officially in a recession or whatever, the market may say, oh, whatever, right? We've been going down for quite some time, and then what? Maybe we're in a recession now. So the whole thing about this, guys, is that sometimes we get, and this is something with one of my private clients is like, but why? Why has the mining sector been getting crushed? Why are they selling it? Why? I'm like, no one knows why. And even if you did figure out reason why something is happening, how is that going to help you move? How's that going to help you move forward? Because maybe that why they're selling is maybe they're buying right now, right? So the best thing is just to keep an eye on what the market is telling you, because even if we do get a good announcement, just like here with Tesla, right? What happened up here at Tesla? Why did it gap up through here? What was that? A really good earnings announcement. Oh my goodness, it was so good. Such a good earnings announcement. It is just, oh, here we go. Right? That's the market doing that on you, okay? So instead of racking our brains, why? That doesn't make sense. If this is happening, if that's happening, if this is happening, if that's happening, why? Let's just focus on the markets. And the market simply says, because the market's right, not us. The market simply says, if we do get that, that's actually going to be quite bullish for the markets through there. Moving over now through to the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq's actually still stuck in its overall triangle pattern. By the way, guys, I'm not saying we are definitely going to get that bounce, because no one knows. But if we do get that bounce and we start to get that higher low, then that's in the face of what seems to be bad news, a rate announcement and possible recession, we could get a bounce. Now, this also could be a false breakout too, right? So it's like a do or die situation. False breakout or continuation. If it's a false breakout, we're going to get something like this. We're going to get something like that, and then we're going to break back. We're going to break back below there. If we do get something like that, yes, this was a false breakout, and then away we go again for another move on the downside. So let the market do the talking, not your brain. All right, because most times our brains are wrong anyway. So move over now through to the mining sector. And yesterday I came out with a thing about Newscrest mining. And I said Newscrest mining has been going on a big, had a very big capitulation sell-off day yesterday. And I said, guys, this is actually probably really close to the bottom right now when it comes to NEM. Because we've been going down for quite some time, this is what happens. We go down, or we go up, right? And then we have a big movement It's like the last capitulation. So I wouldn't be too surprised if this here was getting really close to the bottom before we start to see a rally back to the upside. Bit of an update on gold. Gold's really not doing much through there, so not really much happening there with the gold market. If we go have a look at, let's go bring up the good old Bitcoin. Right, let's actually bring up, we'll bring up this chart. Actually, let me just bring up just one chart here. There we go. We can see here that Bitcoin has continued to be in a very big, strong downward trend. We are holding right now at the previous highs back at 2017. So that's going to be really interesting to see how it actually holds up through there. But as you can see, right, where is the trend on Bitcoin through here? Lower high, down, and now we're getting a pullback. So that's the reason why this here is what? A bit of a false breakout. Now, it's going to be really interesting to see. Now, does actually Bitcoin create a higher low here? Because we are at this level through here now. So we've got this equal bottom. Do we create a higher low and do we start to do something like that? If so, woo, that's going to be really, that could be forming a bit of a base for Bitcoin, and then maybe we're going to get something like that. So really, really, really interesting when it comes to the good old Bitcoin and all the markets through there. So that's what I wanted to share with you today, traders. So make sure you head on down to, this is what I want you to do right now. Make sure you head on down to johnsflashtale.com. I've put together a master trader bundle, only $4. Yeah, video number 1 is about the number 1 chart reading technique that's been working since the 1950s. Wait till you see that. You're going to love it. Video number 2 is about the chart reading boundaries, the best and worst time to trade. Video number 3 and 4 are all about an amazing thing called price and time, so you understand what's going on in the markets right now. Video number 5 is a powerful chart reading strategies. This is a full training that I did for my inner circle. It's an hour and 20-minute full depth training on the best trading techniques. A bonus, and then there's a few bonuses here. Bonus number 1 is my powerful short-term trading system. Bonus number 2 is access to a live trader, top 1% trader live training that I'm doing. So, very first link in the description, guys. Click on that, and I'll see you in the next video.